Hi there, it's Masaki from Queer ESL. クエア英会話のMasakiです。皆さんこんにちは。I've got a new camera. It's called Vixia Mini X. I'm shooting this on my new camera and I hope the video quality is as good as the one that I usually use for vlogging, or maybe better, I don't know. The audio quality is certainly much better, but I usually use an external separate audio recorder, so you probably don't see much difference between my other videos and this one. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about this tweet. Yep, you read that right. This person is a bigot. She's terrible, right? Usually when I see hateful comments on the internet about LGBT people and queer people in general, I just ignore it because I don't want to waste my time responding to it, right? But this time I'm taking it more seriously. I'm taking it more personally, and I'm turning it into a vlogging topic. How efficient, right? So thank you, Hasumi-san, for giving me such a great topic to talk about, because sexual preference or 性癖 or 性的指向, and sexual orientation, which is also called 性的指向but with different kanji. The difference between these two notions is something that I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, so there's sexual preference and sexual orientation, and these are two different things, but they are different only because there are people who have been discriminated against based on sexual orientation. I wouldn't say that no one has ever experienced unfair treatment because of their sexual preferences, but on the societal level, the state level, communal level, personal level, in families even, sexual orientation is something that divides, it's an idea that divides people between heterosexual people and non-heterosexual people. And until the late 19th century, there was no such thing as the idea of sexual orientation. Now the question is, was homosexuality discovered or invented? If we believe that homosexuality was discovered, then, in the late 19th century, we have to assume that homosexual people had always been there, and we gave a name to them. And on the other hand, if you believe that homosexuality was invented with the invention of the idea of homosexuality as something separate from heterosexuality, we started seeing people as homosexuals and heterosexuals. Probably there isn't much difference in what people do or what people want to do before and after the invention of the idea of homosexuality, but because we now know that we can call something homosexuality, we started to see things differently. So the idea, the knowledge, the conception, the name transformed the way we thought of sexuality. And if you know me from other places like Twitter and my blog, you probably know that I believe that homosexuality was invented rather than discovered, right? So basically, I believe that homosexuality is just a sexual preference, but the society doesn't think so. It started not thinking so at the end of the 19th century, right? So for this Hasumi person to tell me that homosexuality is just a sexual preference, I'm like, what? You started it, right? The society started it. We never said it was not a sexual preference until you homophobes started saying it. You wanted homosexuality to be a sexual orientation, not a sexual preference, so that you guys could discriminate against us. And now, because the society is sort of like coming around for LGBT people, saying sexual orientation is one of the basis for legal protection and respect and blah 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 blah, you guys are starting to say that it's just a sexual preference. How ridiculous is that? And how pathetic? And how, well, ridiculous. to sum it up, I'm gonna finish this video by saying I believe that homosexuality is a sexual preference. I believe it has always been a sexual preference. But people who hate those who engage in same-sex sex wanted to discriminate against them and gave them a name, which is homosexuality, as a sexual orientation, and now that sexual orientation is sort of protected, they want to turn it back into a sexual preference. It is ridiculous when you put it that way, right? So apparently I am skipping out on this week's lesson video by throwing this out to you because I got really mad and at the same time quite entertained because of such ridiculousness that we find on the side of bigots. It's just so funny and aggravating at the same time. I'm not saying it's a laughing matter. It's something that should aggravate you. It's something that should be condemned. But at the same time, it's just too funny. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you liked it, please share it on Twitter and Facebook and give me a thumbs up. All right, thank you, bye.